Greetings in the mighty name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I First. Jah Rastafari. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Jah. Greetings ones and ones. Give thanks for the time and the moment and space, and allowing I and I to articulate Rastafari. Speak Rastafari. Now, when I and I speak Rastafari, it's all about the knowings. Knowing I and I self, knowing who we are. Now, today is one of I and I holy day. November 2nd, 1930. His Imperial Majesty coronation. Some I and I elders, or some I and I call it coronation day. Once and once we call it groundation day. Now, I and I for I and I is declaration, illumination. That's what today represent in relation to Rastafari and Rastafari trad. Now, the last song I and I put out is in relation to His Majesty's grandson, and out of that trigger certain thoughts in I and I. Heavens, and some of the thoughts them is in relation to Rastafari as a family, as a trad, and exactly what is Rastafari and what we really are defend or what we are do when we are speak Rastafari. And sometimes I and I feelings, I and I feel away sometimes when it seems like I and I as Rastafari. It's like I and I not fully grasp the meaning of Rastafari. So I and I took it upon I and I self to articulate Rastafari from the perspective where when I and I did a seek and I hear about Rastafari, and well that is within I and I that push I and drive I and I to declare Rastafari. And when I, like I said, when I and I speak Rastafari, I and I always try to manifest it for ones and ones who offers Rastafari, know Rastafari, and get what Rastafari is all about beyond the misconception. Because I will have a misconception out there about Rastafari. But anyway, I and I need to go back to the root. And the root cause that caused I and I to declare Rastafari is the transatlantic diabolical slave trade, where them bring captives and turn, and let me not even say turn, socially engineer captives and turn them into slaves. And the social engineering process is a process where they disconnect you from all that you was and made you into what they want you to be. And really what they have made you into is a set of people who always respond to them, defer to them, from even when we don't even realize, from a subservice, a servant perspective. And this is if I and I have to speak truth, because His man's grandson, Prince Jeremiah, say Rastafari need for stand up in our truth and be firm with truth and also identity. And in that regards, where the prince not get is that it is out of a atrocious act brought forth Rastafari. And those who refuse to accept the notion of servitude or slavery rebel, fight, and the perpetrators label them, just like how them label Rasta today, label them and call them wild and anti-them, and in the history books them call them the Maroons. Now, it's out of that vein, resistance, Rastafari manifests out of. Because I and I always resist. And this is why I and I come and declare I and I identity. Because Rastafari is a way of life. Now, currently, we hold the status label. Them say we is a religion and we are the youngest religion. But nonetheless, it's a levity birthed out of oppression. And those who refuse to be oppressed declare themselves to be Rastafari. Because we refuse to accept what they told us and what they want us to be. And because of our refusal, hence all the negative connotation about Rastafari. Whether you want to call it I and I cult or whatever else, that comes with declaring Rastafari. So now, I and I declare His Majesty as I and I God. And a lot of ones and ones have an issue with that. Now, most information that I and I receive in terms of books and things that they taught, they always teach us about God. But one thing was always peculiar and always amazing to me, read God, is that the only time you know about God is through man. I and I say His Majesty of God. Most people hail Jesus the Christ and all of the other religious institutions. But every last one of them have one thing in common. Barring they believe are giving credence to the unknown. Because what man don't over him declare the mystery and call, give it a name or a title. But the commonality between all is man. Because man, out of the desire to explain the unexplainable, him label it and call it God. But nonetheless, the information, be it God, inspire, like most people like to say, God inspire, and man, or God work through man. Nonetheless, a man. So when I and I declare the king, people who transmit spookism to I and I turn on and act like I and I weird, or I and I crazy. But they don't see the craziness in other things where them push by I and I their religion. Rastafari is a practical reality. Now, when the king get crowned, a lot of things happen within the Rastafari tribe with enough ones and ones, no overs. And why I and I declare the king. One, the king represents Asiancy. That Asian continent, the Ankh Nation continent, what them call Africa, Ethiopia, and whatever other names them want to call it. I and I choose to call it Ankh Nation. Rastafari is a people of sovereign mind. That means we have sovereign authority to do and will what we will. We don't need no permission. We don't need no permission. No one to tell we what is and what isn't. We refuse to accept no God. So we declare I one. And I call him his Imperial Master Emperor Haile Selassie the first Jah Rastafari. I never just make this up. I only give you a book when I call the Bible. And out of this book, I search it out and find information in relation to the king. And this is why I do it, because guess why? One of the tech we and disconnect from who we are. We know nothing, we have no information. Even the English we are talk right now. And I language, but this was forced upon us. And we accept it. Without choice. We had to. And out of survival. See? We utilize your language and your word sound and create I one. And create I own identity. So Rastafari is not just what I want to call religion. It's an identity. It is birthed from the oppressed. The people them want to bring come over this side of the world, want to call the diaspora. African people. And now we fight, because we always a fight and always a resist, to maintain a semblance of who we are. And this is how we have the African retention in Jamaica via the Maroons them. And the sovereign thinking Africans were mass African institution within these religious fraternities. The only difference is that Rastafari now mass nothing. Rastafari tell Uno clearly where Rastafari position is. We are Nation Africans, aka black people, and the continent of Africa is I one. And I depend on these shows of the diaspora in the Americas, and our desire, aim and aspiration is to all return. But first, we have to get it together collectively and know who we be. So when the king get crowned, that's what it represents for I. Now, when you look on the crowning of the king, remember, if you look through modern lens, it'll go over your head. And then again, if your master don't tell you, you won't accept it either. Because them socially engineer you to not to think, but to accept their dictation to you. And when them dictate to you, you obey. That is how them program you. These are when I say you, may talk about the ones and ones that fight Rasta. With an anti-Rasta sentiment. Uno me talk about. Uno slave thinking. But uno think uno smart. Servants, servitude. And the difference is uno educated and enough uno have money now. But uno still a servant. And nothing wrong with service. But what are you serving for? Are you serving for yourself, or are you serving the next man for maintaining institution? And that's what most I want to do. And that is what Rastafari is against. Or let me rephrase. That is what Rastafari should be about. Based on the principle of Marcus, what Marcus gave, lay the blueprint and lay the foundation for I. Self-reliance, doing for self. Ruling and declaring and defining I own destiny. And we're not waiting for someone to tell us how. So when I declare the king, let me tell you what we do. It's a disconnection from their order, disconnection from Fidem God, and declare I own God. Remember this, God is personal. And all of those people, every last one of them in the world, Them have them own God, and them God defend for them ideologies and perspective. We are the only set of people that refuse, that don't have. We have all gods, everybody God, but our own. And this is what Rastafari is. When you declare His Majesty, you declare yourself. It is your own. So November 2nd, when the king get crowned, the king re-establish. Can't go over and heading up. So let me briefly summarize it for you. And for the ones them that hear about Rastafari but not know Rastafari, me articulate it for you so you can get it. Because Rastafari is from the divine blackness, with the face of His Majesty is you. The king represent anciency. Ethiopia for Rastafari is undefeated, indomitable spirit. Because that's what Rastafari is. A people refuse to accept what they want us to be. So we declare and call I declare I name Rastafari. I God. Jah Rastafari, His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie. Now, enough ones and ones I realize when the king get crowned with himself, him wife Empress Menen, and the son Asfa Watson. And this, them say the king broke tradition, but the king never broke tradition. The king re-established the ancient order. Man, woman, and child. Salvation. Because once you have man, woman, and child, life continues. The living Trinity. Not no Father, Son, and Holy Ghost crap. So this is when I and I Rastafari declare this day and hail the king. This is what I and I defend, and this is what it's all about. You see it? Dear God now go help you. For them God defend for them business. I and I God have to defend I and I business. And I and I God that work through I and I. But you have to have the mind and preparation for the most high for manifest. And manifest through I and I. It's the same spirit and the same energy we create the great Marcus Garvey. Yes. And the Messiah work through Marcus. You see it? And the Messiah work through Marcus. To galvanize and motivate and give Marcus Garvey the information for inspire us and resurrect us back to our rightful position. Because it's out of oppression shape the mindset of Marcus Garvey. And when Marcus Garvey look around, and it starts with him little white friend, when them get a certain age. The white friend parents tell him, say, no more playing. Her. And them cut it and it hurt Marcus. And out of that, it put it in Marcus' mind to figure out why these people, they up here so and we they down here so. And then Marcus reshape theme psyche and say, none of they are not bet greater than us. And him search and him find the information. And him develop an organization for the benefit for help I and I resurrect. Call it UNIA. And this is what Marcus Garvey represent to I and I, the blueprint. Because where Marcus connected all of the diaspora with continental Africa, and the enemy destroy him with the help of one of milky ones, one of slaves, because you can't operate without a master sanction. That's why I don't like Marcus Garvey. That's why I don't like Rastafari. So November 2nd, this will Rastafari disconnect from you. Cut on off. And I defend I and I own and declare I and I identity in this time and space. And I will never be able to stop Rastafari because it course in I and I DNA. I and I soul stitch. This is what Rastafari is about. We don't have it together all the way through because the mindset and the confusion. Many different schools are taught and different, and you confuse your mind. So you put up resistance. You resist, that is you. You're fighting against yourself. Because all of I and I great accomplishments, all of these empires where I and I build. Because America built on blackness. England, France, going at them culture and them empires, and you find out a lot of the things that they don't tell you about is blackness. All of them science and institutions that they have gone and get it from the Moors. The Moors is African people that sign up under Islamic banner and went out and conquered the world in the Arab perspective. But nonetheless, the Arabs them label them more to make a distinction between Arab Islam and Black Islam. So I saw the Moors come about. And the reason why them accept Islam a force again, but that is a whole nother story. So Rastafari is for the gathering. And this is what this day represents. This is when I and I illuminate, when the face of His Majesty spread throughout the world in the 1930, November 2nd. And black people have never, in the diaspora, never seen white people, white monarchs and dignitaries bow to a black man. You have to go back in that time and translate back out of slavery and oppression to all of us at that specific time and space. What that image looked like, I come across and people as the newspaper, white people are bow. I've never seen anything like that before. And when the king walked through the earth, everywhere him go, them bow to him. Them give him respect. If the word bow offensive to someone, them pay him respect anywhere him go. And I have to salute him. And this is what I and I. If you don't want to look on the king as God, that is your business. But alright, let me rephrase it then. A self-esteem booster for black people. So-called black people. The king showing greatness. And showing white people a bow. White monarchs and dignitaries a bow in front of a black man. That was unheard of. Only thing I and I know as slaves, the slaves them, is white man and black people they on them knees. If you bow and cut out to white people, they have never seen. So when I and I as Rastafari and the elders them, Leonard Howell, Ebert, Hines, Archibald Dunkley, them four foundation and the four columns of Rastafari lead the foundation, and Rastafari foundation is black liberation, oneness, the coming together of the oneness of nation African people. And the elders them articulate that as best as they could within that time frame, within the magnitude of information that was presented to them. But the information is only books. It's what is inside. Rastafari is not something you really join the truth, but it's inside of you. And then you get it. I can't read no book and over as Rastafari. You have to know Rastafari and it have inside of you. And the only people that becomes Rastafari are those who are the resistors, the one the seers, the nanny, the Kofi. You see it? The Koluma, Lokumi, Cuba, the Denmark Vasi. All of these people are resistors. Yeah, man. A resistance. For all of the maroon them from Suriname go all the way back across. All of the Caribbean people, them. Some of them I know, some of them I don't know. But one thing I do know, they are resistors. And the resistance will continue. You see it? So when I declare Rastafari, man, and that you say, you are re-establish and re-elevate back your divine blackness and put it back on pedestal and disconnect from the white light where blind you, where you can't see who you are. They know who you are, and you wanna know who you are, you refuse because them not tell you say you're great. And when them tell you say them give you a reward for servitude. Because that's what them do. And give you privilege. Because they don't want you to disconnect from them. Because anytime you disconnect from them, things are going to change. And they know it. That's why them cling to you. And anyone that manifests and I try to resurrect, these are the ones now, after they murder them, they put them on pedestal. The Martin Luther King, the Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey. And matter of fact, none of them even put Marcus on pedestal. And none of them put Malcolm X on pedestal. I and I put Marcus and Malcolm on pedestal. The Bob Marleys. You understand? When they want to have a certain passive. You see it? Because Martin Luther King represent a kind of love, a passive kind of love, a all-inclusive. Because they don't want you to disconnect. And Marcus Garvey show you so you can stay within them empire and accumulate and build. But keep your money within yourself. Keep it in your circle. Like every other nation. But not we. We basically run down everything that they say is great. And I run from myself. So this day, that's what it represents. And for all who think Rastafari is a utopia, Rastafari is a living reality, a continuous movement. Because Rastafari is not static. I and I God is not static. See? And this is why enough I want to can't come try to put Rastafari in a box and box we. You see it? Because there are many different schools of thought, but everything revolves around the oneness and the blackness of Rastafari. The Ankh Nation, African people, the people who give life to the world. So now you and I declare Rastafari, man. You will never get it, and the reason why you'll never get it because you're a slave. And slave don't think independently. Slave wait to be instructed to. And then they obey. Sovereign thinking Rastafari, sovereign thinking people like Rastafari create a own identity. The reason why they want to disconnect it from your God, that looks like because they don't want you to create. They don't want to see your divine essence within you and your ability to create. But yet you want to still create, but they take the credit for it. Imagine if it all of the creation that was created within the servitude and the service that I and I has given to the white establishment, white domination, white fear domination. Where would we be? See? And this is the reason why they don't like Rastafari. Because Rastafari represents a sovereign mind state. Sole authority, supreme authority to create and will that we may. That's what Rastafari is. The only problem with Rastafari is a lack of leadership. Because a lot of the leaders them are Christian minded. And at the end of the day, they might return I and I people to servitude. You see it? But Rastafari refuse and will always refuse to be defined by you and them and those. So this was November 2nd, 1930 when the world see the light of the King. And I step out and declare His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Jah Rastafari is I God. Indomitable spirit, undefeated nation, blackness, glory. And we say white people, the people them when them put in the image of them are bow before blackness, for lack of a better word. Bowing. Because I know them not like that sound, but we're going to say them bow. And when I see that, oh wonderful and glorious such a sight is. For a mind that I've never seen, all they have ever seen is white man standing over them and dominating them. And I see this glorious image. Must be God. It must be God. Because white people not bow to nothing. No thing white people afraid of. You know what I'm afraid of? Knowledge of self. Them fear you. Because once you know who you are, then all of this madness are going to stop. But you have to know yourself first. And knowing yourself is declaring Rastafari. And disconnect yourself from their white image. Their white image of superiority. Because when you pray to a God that look like white people, psychologically you program yourself. When you say white people, you bow and salute to them. Because they are superior to you. When you have a God and your God look alike, you trot to the earth fearlessly and you do as you will. Because you know so you and your God are one. And your God will defend anything that you deem is wrong. That's why them fear Rastafari. Rastafari is a survival trad. Rastafari is for the gathering of the Ankh Nation, African people, Caribbean, African unity. That is Rastafari. One accord, one God. His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Jah Rastafari. One aim, organized and centralized for the return and the reoccupation of Ankh Nation continent, what them call Africa. Yes, I. And the destiny is to make sure that everything level again. And we are live again as it was. So shall it be in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. And they say it there. So when you declare Rastafari, man, know say you declare yourself and know say you and your God are one. There's no separation. There's no spookism. Because that's why them keep you spooky, they keep you out there so. And wait for somebody to come help you when you have the power and the divine will to do for self. That's why they don't like Rastafari. And at that them don't want you declare. So when you declare Rastafari, you declare your divine self. His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Jah Rastafari, the face of divine blackness. Because I and I are kings of the earth. With Empress Menin, which is the black woman, and the child. Salvation is forever. Because that is a salvation. Black man, black woman, black child. And your life continue. And as long as you have life, you will always live on. You see it? These are the things they don't want you to know. Once you start love, when you hear Rastafari, I love yourself. Once you start love yourself, then you will value your family. And once you value your family, you will protect your family. A Rastafari that. So until such time again, we seal it upon that and say, know yourself. Know who you are. And when you know who you are, you have no problem recognizing what Rastafari is. The realignment, the reconnection, the reinstitution of self, your divine black self. With the manifested face of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Jah Rastafari. That is November 2nd, 1930. when the whole world and the children of Rastafari declare him and know who their father, who their mother is, and who they are. Because that's why they ball out and say, him broke tradition. Not broke, him broke tradition. Him re-established the ancient order. Man, woman, and child. We in the triple crown. Because we are Trinitarian. Yeah, man, we are the Trinity people, them, man. But the Trinity is not a spookism, or them teach it to you. It is your divine self. It's the continuation of your life. Man, woman, and child. Black man, black woman, black child, the family, the Act Nation family. Not until we start seeing ourselves as a family and we start value each other, then the change will come. But Rastafari is here, and I articulate Rastafari. It's about the knowing. So I want I to know this. You know what I mean? Blessed love, man. One accord. Rastafari live it and reign in I continually. Jah Rastafari without apology.